Hello everyone. Hi, my name is Blaine, aka Rotmaw from Server 28. I'm the R6 over there for the Grudge Bears. I wanted to do a little video here. This is our first. I know this is the third KvK, but I also know that this is also our first KvK that we've done. We're focused on our server war on Server 28 for a really long time. Finally took over that server before this KvK. So this is sort of our fresh take on what's been going on in KvK, and this video is basically the top 5 things that we as a clan, as a group, lots of feedback and stuff like that that I have experienced firsthand, as well as a lot of the other people that have been in my clan. We're fighting server 97. That's the Korean group. They got a lot of really great people over there. Just some of our struggles and whatnot that we've been going through, and I wanted to kind of cover that in this video. So the first major issue that I've noticed, and that a lot of my clanmates, is just the overall excessive amount of time that it takes to get from one stage of the game to the next. We're looking at 45 days, I believe, is the max that it can go. That is a month and a half of time to be actively in a war or playing. That is just, it is an incredible time sink for players. And it is very draining. I think you could probably get a very succinct, very good, punchy gameplay experience for everyone with this event and have it be very, very satisfying if you brought it down to within, even 2 weeks to 10 days would probably be fantastic. And that is completely doable from a mathematics standpoint, with how fast towers go up, how much resources are needed for those. All of those things are scalable and dialable. I don't work for Yuzu, so I don't know what their overall goal is for KvK, but I think a more rapid cycle for the game would be much more enjoyable for a lot of people, including myself. So that's it. I won't belabor that point. I think getting from the first stage is 10 days. It's very, very long. Getting into we're just now getting into tier zone 2, and that's going to take, I don't know how long, another 14 days or something like that. It's very onerous, it's very tedious, it's not very fun. You look at like Illusion Battle, which is over in an hour. That's really, it's just this delicious piece of candy in terms of the game, and the event is very successful and very popular, regardless of Prime League or the other normal league. So more towards that, more stuff like that, I think is going to do nothing but benefit the game if you make KvK more succinct, more to the point, and have them more frequently. My God, you could do 3 KvKs in the time that it takes us to do 1, and that gives players more time to jump from server to server, to move around if they want to, all that kind of thing. I just don't think right now that the time that's invested, I'll get into this later, is worth the onerous siege-like mentality and the conservative style gameplay. Anyway, I digress. That's point 1. Takes too goddamn long. Point 2. Alliance tactics. Okay, so there's all this time that you spend in the game building, doing all these things. You're building towers and doing all of this stuff and defending and having a big war. We've had some really, really great wars against 97 and good fights. However, tactics, specifically some of the certain tactics that are in here, are absolutely broken. They remove all the strategic element. They remove all the strategic fun. They remove the ability for a player, for an alliance to move forward, to be able to put a dent. You got, where is it, Wonder Build here, whatever the Wonder Build tower is. This is the number one. Actually, both of these here, Wonder Build and Iron Wall. These are 2 incredibly broken. They're absolutely busted, and they need to be either removed from the game or completely reworked. They are broken because the second that you lose a tower that the other clan has been working 20 to 24 hours to bring down, can instantly be replaced. It's unacceptable. You cannot. This needs to be reviewed and replaced, or it needs to be just completely kicked out. Like, I hate this ability. I think instant abilities that don't encourage combat, that encourage conservative play and hanging around on your back feet, should be examined and looked at. And it's just not fun. Like, that's fun is subjective, and I rarely use that word, but I'll tell you from experience, we just fought Kano. We were fighting Boss Baby Kano, and they worked for hours to try and remove this tower, and they had 9 minutes left on a tower, on a Wonder Build tower that we had placed, and they had 9 minutes left on this tower, and we switched our talents and used the Iron Wall instant heal all the way back up. Immediately went back to 14 hours, and he just lost it, and I cannot blame him for that. It's awful. You spend all of this time, 14 hours, babysitting and like just sitting there watching a tower go down, right? And it's just brutal. So this brings me over to kind of the third point. Like, anyway, I'm going to follow this up. These abilities, they need to be re-examined. Anything that's instant, that allows for conservative play. Look, I understand also that you don't want one large group just sweeping through the entire map and clearing everybody out. I understand that Yuzu erred on the side of conservatives, of being conservative with these abilities, so that players that want to stick it out can do so, right? That's okay. Being on your turf and defending, all that stuff is great. But those two abilities right there completely negate any kind of strategic planning, any kind of, it's just not rewarding, okay? So I'll probably edit this down, because my God, what a rant. It's just infuriating to both sides. But it's ridiculous. All right, that's alliance tactics. Number 3. We're going into towers. The tower mechanic itself. So the tower mechanic I'm going to say that it's a good mechanic in practice, and in theory, but the execution of towers is very poor. It is way more beneficial to slap a bunch of towers down and let the enemy worry about knocking them down than it is for you to spend the time to knock them down, right? The amount of effort that it takes to build a tower is very, very low compared to the amount of effort that it takes to knock a tower down. It is disproportionately so. Disproportionately so. It's more like, God's 20 to 5%, right around in that area, depending on if you build one, such as what we're doing right now with this tower, where everybody's dogpiling this tower, everybody's going to go in there, we're going to build it, it's going to take 2 hours or something like that, and then we're going to move on. But that 2 hours that it takes our clan to go in and do that, it's going to take, it doesn't matter how many bad guys jump into that tower, it's still going to take them anywhere from 14 to 7 hours. The converse is just not true. There are talents that are in there that cut this time down, but being able to, how about this? If you can instantly place a tower, why can't you instantly destroy a tower, right? Like, the converse is not true. It's all about, and I understand, again, from a game design perspective, you want this culmination, this build, this mad building into the center of the tower, into the center of the map, right? To make, so that everybody, to fulfill that picture that you get when you load into KvK, right? It's just simply not the case right now. It's a very onerous process. Destroying towers. You should be able to, there's a magic number that's in there, I'm certain, that will allow you to throw in, if you throw in more troops, the tower should be destroyed accordingly. The tower should be destroyed based on the number of troops that are in there. This encourages players to throw larger amounts of troops in there. This encourages more combat inside the towers, instead of just throwing piddly little one sets of troops in there just to get that timer to go up incrementally, or just have it in there just so that you're telling me that one troop is going to do as much damage as 70,000 troops that are in there. I don't know what game you're playing. Well, you're playing IK, right? So I think there are definitely things that can be added and adjusted in this to make tower destruction more impactful. I'm not saying that towers need to be destroyed in 6 hours and they can drop down to 2 hours minimum. Maybe that needs to be the case, right? I'm okay to try that, because what we have right now is a goddamn headache. It is not fun. This game isn't tower defense, guys. Like, this is IK, right? Like, this is KvK, and right now it's kill the towers. Maybe sometimes you get a KvK fight, right? Sometimes you'll get a fight. Like, you guys need to be focused on encouraging combat, encouraging offensive strategies, encouraging those sorts of things to happen. And right now, it all centers around the thermals. The thermals are just the thing that are really, really bad. Okay, end rant on number 3. The towers suck. Number 4. So you spend 45 days going through this siege. You end up going through all of this this long process, right? You get to the end of it, and then you get your rewards, right? So we're going to the Legion of Frostborn rewards here. Let's go into the shop. And now, depending on how my clan did, I get some stones to spend on some stuff here, right? The TOK skills, everybody hates them. I'm not going to go into the TOK skills stuff right now. Like, the way they executed, Yuzu made a very large mistake with this by making this pay to win. By making that aspect of the game pay to win. I don't think I'm going to get any disagreements there. But you're presented with chests to buy, which are the primary reward, right? You earn the right to buy these chests. Nowhere else in the game does this exist, right? You could say that COR has the chest, the smaller chest, but you still end up getting woo shards or whatever. Nowhere else in the game are you seeing this level of I don't know how to say it another way, greed, right? Like, this is ridiculous. The players are playing the game for 45 days. 45, a month and a half they're playing. They might win, they might not win. We're not really sure, right? But then at the end of it, they're rewarded with the chance to spend more money and gems buying this. It's awful. It's awful. Like, it's awful, and I like, as a developer, like me, I would change this completely to just like a stone style system. I would make the rewards a little bit more generous towards the players and create like a shop so that they can actually buy the TOS skills that they want, as opposed to just some random generator thing that, you may get them, you may not, who knows. This is just a very poor design that is incredible. That this was designed by a monetization person that really doesn't care about the players or about free to play or mid-level players or anything like that. This is a very poor system. So like I said, actually I haven't said this yet, but in my opinion, when you're going to criticize something, you should definitely offer some sort of incentive. Like, and what could be replaced with this? You look at the dice event, which is incredibly popular, right? The dice event. So if you buy stuff, you earn coins, you earn dice rolls. The dice rolls allow you to go and buy the artifact that you want. It's a specific artifact, and you get to choose that. There's nothing wrong with that. It works very, very well, and I'm sure it monetizes very, very well throughout, from whales all the way down to the minnows, even the free-to-play, right? This does not. This is a very poorly designed system, and it needs to be looked at and examined and softened. I've heard that Yuzu has said the design, or I'm sorry, that this is already how it has been, and players that have already purchased these chests, etc., they'll feel like they're being slighted if they change this sort of thing. It's the same for the TOK skills. I completely 100% disagree with this. Speaking again from experience as a designer, as a developer, it's never going to hurt the bottom line to have the mid-level and the free-to-plays come in and enjoy your game. Like, that's just going to make the whales that much more happy, because they're going to have people to continue to fight and give them that challenge. You need that cycle. And right now, this specific system, the TOK skill system plus this ancient remnant system, is really only benefiting very, very rich players, right? It really is, and that's not what you want for a healthy, happy game. Finally, point number 5, the bugs. And this is just a general comment about IK in general. It seems like every 2 months or so we get a new feature, which is awesome. Thank you guys. We love it that you do that. But it seems like a lot of times the version of that feature that we get is a barely functioning beta version that has a ton of bugs. Typically, KvK was a good example. There's a litany. There's a huge list of this stuff. So I really encourage Yuzu to pump the brakes, take a little bit of time, take an extra 2 weeks if you need to. That's okay. We're not going anywhere, right? But we will go somewhere. We'll go play another game if the bugs keep piling up, right? Like, you can't ship TOK skills that people are paying $1,200 to $1,400 for, ship those out, and then have them be buggy and broken for 2 months. People are paying inordinate amounts of money for this game. Thousands and thousands of dollars are being poured into this game, and the level of QA needs to be increased to make sure that this game continues to have players and that our faith and our money is rewarded, right? So anyway, that's it for me, guys. That's my rant. I appreciate that. The top 5 things that are currently wrong with KvK. If you like this content, let me know. Give a comment, and maybe I'll make some more videos. Thanks, guys.